Yo, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? So, I'm actually ready today. So we're just gonna hop right into it. I hope that y'all are doing well. So I'm gonna do about 30 minutes of like actual poses and stuff, and then I'm gonna do about 40-ish minutes of hands, and then we'll wrap it up. Let me just get this going. Oh, no, this is not what I wanted. I want my gesture sheet. There it goes. Alright, switching over to my handy dandy pencil. Getting this open. And we're good to go now. Alright. Karate D. How's it going? Alright, let's get started. Man, I'm so excited to get ready to do this one shot, but start up my ongoing series. I will say at first it's probably gonna take quite a bit of time for me to put my chapters and stuff out. So just be patient with me. Because my plan is to do it in color, which is going to take a lot of time in and of itself, but it's also just going to take me quite a bit to get it to a point where it's not taking me so long. A one shot is just a story that is self-contained and it's short. I don't know, it's just like a short story. But the manga version of that, or the comic version of that. Also, how's it going, Locke? So this one's pretty much done. I am going to... Ooh, allergies. I am going to put in some really quick eyes. Could probably expand this out a bit. Oops. On to the next one. I'm doing good. What do you mean you're taking a break? You mean you're taking a break from art for a little bit, or have you been studying today? Taking a break from work? And I'm doing well. I had a pretty good day of work today. I got a lot of stuff at work I gotta get done this next couple of weeks, but that's alright. Oof, that looks ugly. Oh, nice. I wish I could do that. That would be the life. I'm not really liking the way that this one's coming out, but that's alright. I'm gonna make this bigger, I think. And I'm gonna erase this away. Yeah, it's nice, but it can be stressful when not making money. Yeah, I bet. I just got the first book for Jujutsu Kaisen. I guess the first volume. So I'm excited to look at that. I like the anime, but I haven't really seen too much of the manga yet. So interested to see how that is. I'm not gonna lie though, and I know that it's still better than what I can do, but the art in the first volume does not look great. It's just a good reminder of, at least from what I've seen so far, but it's just a good reminder that, like, you don't get good at comics or manga until you do it, right? And you have to practice it. So don't get discouraged. Like, I could have easily been discouraged at this point. I think I've done 3 comic contests, manga contests, and I haven't been published in any of them yet. And in fact, I haven't placed in any of them yet. So, like, I could just throw my hands up and quit, but I'm not going to. I think that the manga that I've been creating is going to be a good one. And I'm going to just create it on my own, and whatever happens from that happens. If it's popular, cool. If not, cool. Like, I'm making it because I think that it's important and it makes me happy, so. And I'll only get better as I go. Make the head just a tad bit bigger. Yep, it is. And you know, just because somebody doesn't like choose your stuff to be published in that moment doesn't necessarily mean that it's better, right, or worse. It just means that it's not what that particular publishing agency was looking for whatever reason. So, and yeah, of course, like it, to some, I'm not in total denial. To some extent, theirs are better than mine, right? Or else I would have been chosen by somebody by now, but, yeah, it just doesn't always mean that you're doing a bad job. And it's not like, for this one anyways, like, it's not like I submitted any of my, like, and they didn't even look at my art from what I saw, because, I didn't have any more hits or anything on my, ArtStation portfolio, so I know for a fact that they didn't look at that, so they went based off of the story, and that was really it. Which is fine, but just a good reminder that, one, there's always work to be done, but two, like, again, it's just whatever they're looking for. Sometimes you can get it, sometimes you can't. Doesn't mean it's bad or good or any of those things. It's one thing in your gestures that you want to look at is like the angles and stuff. Like this particular gesture, he looks like he's gonna fall backwards. Yeah, that's all you can do, right? I haven't either. I actually had one contest that I actually had the most views and votes on my work, and I had like one of the highest ratings as well, but it still didn't get chosen. But you know, again, it has nothing to do with whether or not it was any good or bad. It was just the fact that it's not what they were looking for. Oh, my camera's all kinds of wonky. I wonder why it does that. It's so annoying. Probably just getting old. At this point, I've had this thing for years. Ooh, this is a nice one. It's crazy how some, like, as many of these as I've done, like, sometimes, I mean, there's still some on my list that I haven't gotten a chance to draw yet. Just wild to think about. Or some of these I've drawn a billion times. Alright, next one. How your commissions been going, Locke? I mean, getting some here and there? Oh, that's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, okay. That's all right. Keep getting them done. People will come in. Oh, I didn't draw this leg, by the way, because it's not in the image. Just so y'all are aware. People who are watching a little later. That's alright, yep. Takes time. I've only had a few myself, but I also don't really broadcast myself as having like open commissions because I don't think that's something I really want to do just yet. Maybe later on down the road once things become a little easier for me. Alright. Because I want to be able to get, I want to get my projects done. So I can spend a little more time on like the face and stuff here just because this is just a basically from here up image. Just wanted to get up more for myself. I'll get it up more for myself. Yeah. I hear you. That's like really why I want to, I don't know, art's about making sure you're doing things that make you happy, because if you're happy, that means you're going to keep moving forward, and if you keep moving forward, you're going to improve over time, as long as you're, you know, one, getting feedback, but two, trying to use the fundamentals on a consistent basis, and looking to improve, looking to learn. But the main thing is just making sure you're enjoying yourself. Like, yeah, you're not going to be comfortable all the time, but you also you're not going to improve if you just hate what you're doing too, so. I don't really know where her back arm goes, but that's okay. I can zoom in, because I got the time now. Get a really rough drawing of the face here. There we go. You can even do like a really rough sketch up of some hair. Perfect. And if y'all are wondering, like, am I using reference? Yes, I am. All of these references are from different manga and like panels, and also I have a few that are from like Pinterest, but I thought that they were good poses for a manga, so I have that as well. Like this current one is from Full Metal Alchemist. Mustang. Lighten up. Envy? Lust, sorry. I would say that that's like, it's like totally up to, because like the hair is just something that you can do as an added on extra. Like for instance, like right here, like I have extra time, so I'll do it. But really, like, hair's like, good, I have a break so I can explain this. Hair is one of those things that like you don't need in your gesture drawing. Now, the ways that I would simplify it is you do the general shape like I just did. So just suppose, I don't know, it's like a woman with like a ponytail, kind of like this one I have over here. So you can like block in the bangs like this and then go up, block this part in, and then just after you've done that, like this is like the general shape, then you can just kind of squiggle in. That's how I would do it. But hair is like, so I would do hair at like basically very last. You want to go body, head, well, head, body, torso, or not torso, body and torso, huh? Same thing. Limbs, and then after you've done the limbs, you want to make sure that you get in the feet, because those are super important in making your character feel grounded. And then I would say you could even do, if it's like flowy with like clothes, like this one is, so you'll see me do this in a second. I would put clothes next, and then last would be hair on my list. Because hair doesn't really add too much unless it's like blowing in the wind. If I can get to the hair here, I will. But again, it's literally going to be last on my list here. Alright, so we get So we get this. I would like to put, just because it feels more important to me, at least the eye here. Yeah, no problem. So like for instance, I'll do his hair. Well, you know what I'm going to do? So that's like all I might do for like clothes, because he has like this like long flowing cape. For the hair, I'll do it like that, and then let me see if I can get the hairline in. Like that, and then just block it in. Yo, what's up, Coop? Alright. Drafting, nice, nice. So I'm going to increase the size of, oops, upper body here. And now I'm going to go back and increase the size of his head just a bit. And this is just because the angle that this is all at, it's like kind of like this. So I need to also make his shoulders a bit bigger. Alright. Oh man. This is a very extreme angle. Let's see if I can get this in here. Skip this ad. Thank you. Does have a big head. It is a little too big at this point. Let me shrink this down just a little bit. There it goes. All right, so get this. Ladies and gentlemen, if I can get this one in, I'm going to be so happy, because these are so difficult for me. These ant-eye view poses. Whew. So this is like cut off, just so you're aware, like kind of like this. Shrink the head just a bit. Pull it down like that, and I think I'm pretty happy with that. It wasn't too bad. Oh man, shoulders getting sore. Not on stream. I probably will after I'm done for a little bit. But yeah, I'm not gonna do that on stream, only because I don't want to ruin it. But what I am going to do here pretty soon is I'm gonna start recording myself as I prepare to post my one shot on Voice Me. Sorry, I'm just like trying to concentrate a little bit. And I'm gonna make a video out of it, so you'll get to see like my process and stuff, and see how I edit my process. I plan on doing that for when I do my ongoing manga as well. Let's see if I can pull off doing both of these poses. So I can copy the process. Yeah, I don't care. You can copy the process. That's fine with me. That's what it's meant for. It's meant to help people with their own process. Because, even though I've only done 2 like full stories, I have a pretty good idea of how difficult it can be if you don't have a proper process for yourself, because it is not easy. Probably. So this is one thing that I do want to work on, is like getting the head in the right place when there's these like really extreme poses, because I tend to still extend the neck out and I don't need to. Man, stupid camera. Alright, so I'm going to take a very short break, and we're going to do some hands, which I haven't done hands in quite some time. Whew. So this is going to be a disaster. Sorry, I think I've said this in streams before. The reason why I look over here and not at the camera is because that's where the chat is. So I'm like acting like I'm talking to the chat, but I am talking to the chat, but I should be talking to the chat through the camera, but the actual like chat is on my right. So sorry about that. Alright, let's see what we got going here. See the spoils of war for well, this is good. I just need to make them smaller so I can have room for my hands. Alright. Really, it's just these 5 that need to be smaller, so I will do that. Alright, cool. So let's get the hands going. Edit session. I definitely need to give myself 2.5 minutes per hand, so we're going to be doing that. And we'll do 15 total hands. It's going to put us... My favorite type of hand, the one I don't have to draw. I'm just kidding. I like drawing foreshortened hands. I mean, it's difficult, but it's a lot of fun. And it looks really nice when you get it done right. Alright. Let's do it. Alrighty, so... Alright, so we get this. Get that in. Alright, so let's do here, 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 here. This one's here. That would be crazy. Hands are just so expressive, you know, it's like drawing a face in some ways. If you can get good at drawing hands, you'll be drawing some really good panels and stuff. Can't really afford to leave them out, unfortunately. Alright, for the first hand that I've done for like gesture in quite some time like this is a decent start, I would say. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. Is it good? Probably not. But it's a decent start and I'll take it. Alright, so now we get this. Need to do that. So this is a hand I'll probably end up drawing quite a bit, which is just like a relaxed hand, but from the back. So hands like these, you want to make sure that you get as comfortable with them as you possibly can, because you're going to draw them frequently. So is it ever comfortable to draw a hand? Probably not. But like I said, as comfortable as you can possibly get. Yep, I figured that. I just noticed like the fingers are just a little short, and I can show you why I knew that in just a second. That's better. And I'm gonna pull it this way just a bit. Because the palm, if you look here, the distance here to here should be about the same as there to there. So that's how I knew. And that's what this is all about, right? It's like about being able to find the tendencies that you have, the mistakes that you make, and so that when you go to draw for real, you don't, either you make the mistakes and you catch it quicker, or you stop making the mistakes, one of the two. So that's what you use your study sessions for. This is one that I had a little difficulty with last time. Alright, so draw the form first. Yeah. that's just a general guideline, so it's not perfect. Everybody's hands are different, but it's about right. Alright, so we'll get ovular shape, another ovular shape. Can erase that one away. And I think that's really all that you're gonna see here. Seems you're not wrong. Yep, I know my stuff to some extent. Just a quick change. I want to pull that down just a bit and erase some of this stuff away. Alright, I'm pretty cool with that. Alright, another hand that I would dare say I probably will draw pretty frequently. Coop, how's school been treating you? You getting ready to come up on being done, right? At least for this year. Alright, so now I'm gonna go back through, put in the knuckles here. Come on, break down. Nice, nice. So are you like you're done for the year, or do you have like stuff to do over the summer? We're gonna be doing some non-school related stuff in the summer. Nice. What are you hoping to do once you're out of college, Coop? not have to work. I drew this hand suspiciously fast. I feel like I'm missing something significant here, but I don't think I actually am. I think that it just was an easier hand for me to do. Yeah, it is a dream we all have. That's why I do this. Like, this wouldn't be work for me if I could do it like full time. Just sit here and stream and hang out with y'all. That would be the life. Maybe one day. Alright, I'm cool with that one. Oops. Got a 1 minute break and then we have our last 5 hands. Let's see. Oh, no. Nope, just our next set of hands. I thought I did 10, I only did 5. Rough. These are coming out pretty good though. Like, I'm pretty happy with these hands. They're definitely the best batch I've done, I think. Cool. Well, that just means that doing this is working. Coop, what's a video you'd like to see me do in the near future? Like actual content video and not a stream? You want to be a doctor? What kind of doctor? You want to be like a general physician? You want to be like a, I don't know. You could be a vet. That's technically a doctor. What kind of doctor are you trying to be? But good for you. I, of course, said that my hands were the best hands I've done, and then immediately got probably the most difficult, one of the most difficult hands in the selection I chose. But this is definitely a hand that I'm going to end up drawing quite a bit, so I need to go ahead and figure this out. Get this finger here. 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 It's not bad. This part needs to be a little thicker, I think. Alright. Before I ask for something story related, give me 1 second to pause this. Well, I'd probably ask for something story related, so maybe you could combine art with that, like how to tell emotions with art or give certain feelings or something, I don't know. I mean, I do, like, the last few videos that I did were story related videos. Like, I think I did like a Keisha Ketsu one last or something like that. There's nothing wrong with that. I think one that I would love to make is like how to like know what angle, like camera angle to use to get the mood or the yeah, like the mood that you want for your scene. So for instance, like when should you use a bird's eye view versus like an ant's eye view for specific like you want to like get a specific emotion conveyed. I've been thinking about that because that's one that I really want to see, and maybe that's something because like I've always wondered that myself, so maybe that's something I can do, because then it would be kind of what you said. And I could just do like a study basically of different manga and how they, like what panels they use for what things. Might be onto something here, Coop. We might be onto something. Alright, so I want to go back to yeah, I'd be interested in that. I've low-key been trying to improve on making the stickman in a 3D setting instead of 2D, so it would be helpful, or I'll just go crazy with it all. Yeah, one thing that I will make a video on at some point is how to use like Blender to help you create scenes that like scenes that you'll consistently have to draw. I want to do that because I think that's like something that people don't really realize is a free resource that they can use, and like people are gonna be like, oh, that's cheating, but like if you're creating the Blender scene, like you can't really claim that it's cheating that you're then doing like a screenshot and then using that as like your guide, because it's something that you've created. It's not cheating, it's not being stupid. So that's something that I definitely want to do at some point, because it's just such a valuable like option that I just don't think people understand is even there. I need to be sure to draw this first. This. And this. And then I can come to this. 1 second, Max. You're gonna have to wait a little bit, buddy. I'm not finished yet. Don't huff and puff at me. One second, buddy. Stop. Give me a second. Max, wait. Alright, give me 1 second, buddy. I see you. I see you. Give me 1 second, everybody. I just want to make sure he has food and water. What's up, buddy? You need some food? Alright, I fed the little guy. I'm sure he'll still be upset with me. He wants me to go and hang out with him in the living room, which, what? Maybe 15 more minutes and I'll be able to do that. Alright. Here's another hand that I'm sure I'll end up drawing quite a bit. I've been experimenting with the, sorry, let me pause this. What's up, Mike? It's good to see you. Been experimenting with the 3D environment. Found it a little difficult with the stickman since jeez. Max, it's alright, buddy. There's nobody there, dude. Found it a little difficult with the stickmen since they're simple, so I'll have to make them stand out more. I see. Hey Mike, how are you doing? Missed your last stream, but caught a bit of it. Those manga panels look good. Thank you, I appreciate it. I was trying. They didn't come out as good as I would have liked, but it was good practice. And I'll finish them at some point and post it, because it's always good to study other artists and stuff. Alright. And Mike, I hope you've been doing good. I'm gonna get this rough flipper in. Speech bubbles. Yep, rule of thumb with speech bubbles is to do them first and then draw your art and stuff afterwards. And the reason for that is because if it's dialogue that's important enough, it needs to be the prominent piece of the whatever you're doing. And you don't want it to look like you're just trying to squeeze stuff in. Oh, the audit went fine. It was pretty low key, really, which was nice because our agency tends to freak out over those things, but it always ends up being okay. hand did not come out good. That's because I was running my mouth too much. And Max scared me. Yep, it went perfectly fine, yeah. Alright, so for those of you who are wondering, for my fingers, why I only do 2 bubbles, that is because, even though there's 3 segments of a finger, that's because the lower portion of your finger is about the same size as both upper portions of your finger put together. So if you are trying to draw a hand that's proportioned well, and you start off with the 2 segments, you can typically, that are the same size, you can typically like kind of figure out that last segment a bit, just based off of what you've already got going on. Granted, that was pretty rough. Ugh. Yeah, that's a bad hand. Read your update about the one shot for Saturday. I am glad to hear you're undeterred for pressing. Yeah, oh yeah. This story that I've been creating, it's been years, and you know, I don't know if it's something that an agency would jump on, or if it's just not actually that interesting to other people, but I don't know, I don't really care about that, because I'm not going to do a project just based off of what I think people might enjoy. I'm going to do a project about what I enjoy and hope that other people enjoy it as well. I believe in it, so I'm going to push forward. No reason not to. And it's something that'll help me improve my art as well. Alright, this is my last segment of 5 for hands, and then we will wrap up for today. I'm gonna increase this size. I actually really like the way that thumb just came out. I know that's really odd to say, but it has a really nice structure to it. just need to, I actually really enjoy the way that this hand ended up looking. I just need to make the fingers a bit longer. But like this is probably, if it's not the best structured hand, it's one of the best that I've done. Oh, read your, oh, sorry. Team up time? What you mean? Who's teaming up? Yeah, that's a solid looking hand. I like that one. That came out nice. Mm-hmm. And what are y'all gonna do? What are we gonna do here? Take the world by storm. That's what I like to hear. Sorry, Mike, I see your question. Let me finish out this fist and then... I will read it. Almost there. Pretty good. And like the head that Scott Harris uses, do you use any of those to? He doesn't do Loomis method like everyone else. I thought that was strange. I don't, but I also don't really do a Loomis method myself. I find the two kinds of heads that I gravitate towards when I draw heads are I either do this kind of head, and this one I do like less frequently at this point, but I either use a cube as the base, and then I round stuff out like this. So I either do that or I just, I mean, I kind of do a little bit of a Loomis method, but it's not quite the same. But I'll just start off with a circle and then put a midline and then kind of connect what needs to be connected here. But and then I do, I mean, I guess this essentially is a Loomis method head. It's just like super simplified. But yeah, this is what I do for my heads. So it's that's 1/3, that's the other third, and then you get this third up here. So yes, this is a Loomis head. I don't know why I said I don't use it. His was like, I'm trying to think if I can remember. I don't do this circle because it's just not, I don't know, it's not necessary. And it doesn't really, for me, it's super hard to visualize, like, so like, it's supposed to be like this, right? Where like the circle is about, it's probably even supposed to be bigger than this actually. The circle takes up about like, it's like supposed to be about 2/3 the height. So let's see how close I got here. Yeah, I would say it's probably almost spot on. So it's supposed to be like 2/3 the height, right? And then you split this inner circle in half, both length and horizontally. And then like this quadrant is where your ear is. And then you can kind of get the jawline. And then, you know, you just kind of come down here and then you add a third here and then you get like where the chin is and then all that stuff. But like the issue with this is that it becomes so mechanical that like it doesn't really leave room for, I don't know. It's hard to visualize. So now you're taking this head and you want to draw a face that's like up, like facing kind of that way, right? So kind of up and away, like almost a 3/4. So now, like, what's this look like? How do I know if it's chopped off the side, or like how do I know these things, right? And I guess technically what it would probably be like this, and then here, and then this bottom section goes out, and this, and then you get this midline that's supposed to be parallel to this one. But did I go far enough that way with it? I don't know. Probably not. It probably needs to come out here. And it just becomes like a little too mechanical, I feel. And for me, my biggest issue right now is that my heads, I'm too stiff when I go to draw them. So because of that, like my heads look kind of, and faces look really lifeless. So I'm trying to really like, this is too far over. I'm trying to really limit that. Because then your faces just look lifeless. So like, for instance, if I were to draw this, I would just quickly do that, add the neck in, ear. I would want to rotate the canvas a little bit to get that ear in properly, but, and then here, somewhere in here, and then separate that here, here, and then we're good to go, right? And it's basically the same result half the time. I just stopped worrying about this space. Like, who cares? Like, yeah, it'll help you shade it, but you can easily figure out what that looks like. But like, you can figure out what space on the side of the head is shaded and not just by placing your eye sockets, because you know that this eye socket is going to kind of like come in like this and then out and then down for the cheekbone, and then you just kind of elongate it, right? You just go. And then again, if I'm really struggling, I'll do the cube method for this. And I think this is actually how I got here, is the cube method. So it's just cleaner. Like, it takes less thought, because everybody knows how to draw cubes typically. But like, this is kind of what I'm imagining anyways as I'm going about like trying to draw this head. Get the half ear. My ears from this angle are weird because I really do need to turn the canvas for them. And then here, and then this angle, it's so extreme you will see some of the bottom of the chin. And then you just round off everything. So yeah, I mean, and this is, again, I'm like 90% certain that this is how I got to doing this. Is I did the cube method so much that I like started to take shortcuts. And I would say, for real though, this chin is just a little too long. But yeah, I decided to start taking shortcuts to save myself a little bit of time. But yeah, I would recommend, I don't know, I like the cube method better than the Loomis. Because like, yeah, these two, they came out pretty much the same, except for I would argue I like this one better because it's just, it has more fluidity to it. Like, I was thinking too much about the lines here. And this is probably just a me thing, to be honest with you. Because a lot of people use the Loomis method and it's perfect. And they draw probably just as good, if not better, faces than I do. But, you know, the more the merrier with that kind of stuff. It helps you troubleshoot problems that you might have with your faces. Alright. Thanks for that excellent. No, you're fine. I like doing that kind of stuff. It's a good like reminder for me as well. So I appreciate the question. Yo, what's up, Quan? Yeah, no problem at all. I did have one more question for you. Are you just a writer, or are you also like drawing everything? Just the writer. So I'm sure that you've done this already, but you'll want to make sure that you have a pretty detailed description of what you want your characters to look like. And you'll want to be probably just slightly more descriptive in the scenes that you're creating in your story as well. Just because, like, and I can maybe look on stream for just right after I'm done with this and show you some examples or talk about some examples without giving away any of your story, of course. But there's just questions that your artist, whoever ends up doing the artwork for your manga, there's going to be some definite questions that they have about scenes and stuff that you'll want to make sure that you have fleshed out as you move forward with your stuff. Sorry, I know that I'm being very slow in my explanation, but I'm trying to concentrate on this hand. What's up, Tell? Thanks for joining. Tell, you're one person, I love your art. Like, your art is so incredible. I really like, I think you have really good structure and color choice in, like, almost all of your art. It's really cool. So, somebody's art that I was almost always, well, I looked forward to everybody's because I like seeing how people develop, but yeah, your art was always awesome to see. I learned quite a bit from looking at your stuff, actually. Thanks, I appreciate it. Thanks for hopping on. And I am doing well. I hope you're doing well too. Oh, Tell, I don't know if you're still here or you already hopped off, but if you want, try to find my Discord. I don't know if Coop is still on here, but it would be awesome if you wanted to join just so we can, like, give each other feedback and stuff on our artwork. I'd appreciate that. I'm trying to... It's hard in the art school community, like Discord, because there's just so many people, but I'm trying to see if I can find, like, a little group of people that would be willing to give feedback to each other that were from, like, our, like, class. Thanks, Coop. Thanks, I appreciate that. Awesome, I appreciate that, Sal. Yeah, it'd be great to get feedback. All right. Yeah, this is besides this hand, I don't know what the heck that is, but this is my best batch. I think this is the best hand right here that I've probably ever drawn, actually. I know it doesn't look like much, but yeah, I appreciate that, so I'm glad that they're relaxing for you. It's always nice to see people popping on and be able to ask or answer questions and stuff. But definitely, I find myself trying to lessen my words and things of that sort and keep things straightforward. But then again, you're totally right. Yeah. So like here, let me. I'm not gonna. Don't worry. I'm not gonna like put it on stream or anything. But I will go back and open up. Hopefully this doesn't pop up on stream. No, it won't. Okay. Alright, so, like, anime Quan, like, so even if I just look at, like, your first page, questions I would have as the artist, so, and again, I'm not sure if you've already described these people. I want to know who this first person, like, you're saying, like, okay, so, if it's alright, I'm just gonna read, like, some of this, right? So, it says this character, I won't say the character's names, but shown rubbing through his hair while squatting down with blood on his hands. His hands, face, and hair. So questions that I have, what's the race of this person? How dark or light is their skin? How long or short is their hair? What kind of clothes do they have on? Stuff like that. So, and you don't need to put all of that in your story, but these are things that you could put off to like on a different thing, like your descriptions of characters. And after somebody does like a concept like art for you off of your descriptions, like you would work with the artist on that, then you wouldn't have to think about these things anymore, right? Because the artist already has it. And then your next piece that's like narration, luxury apartments near a beachfront, great. But there's two people and they're deceased, right? What do they look like? How, skin to all the stuff I just said. So for the apartments, what do those look like, right? Like, you're saying that they're luxury apartments. What I would do if I were you, instead of trying to like describe all of it in words, get yourself like a I call it like a mood board folder or like a reference folder, and find different things that match what you want on like your pages and specific scenes and stuff like that, and layer them out as chapter 1, these are the buildings, or these are some buildings that I like, that I would like to have in these chapters in some way. So that way, when you have your artist come, like, instead of you trying to type all of it out and describe it that way, you can just have this like folder of different references that you can send over to them, and they would be able to say, oh, okay, and they can. I don't know how in depth you want this to be, right? Maybe that would be enough for you, and anything that even looks remotely like that would be good to go. But on the other hand, like if you're really picky about it, because like maybe this luxury apartment is actually going to be the scene of like your climax, for instance, of your story later on down the road, then you might want to really work with this person on, hey, this is exactly what I want it to look like. This is the layout. This is like the route that these people are going and stuff in order to get to these specific spots. Or I'm just saying this at random, right? Maybe your main character ends up going to this temple in order to learn how to use their magic. So now you have a area that is going to be very, very important to your manga. So now you're gonna want to go out of your way to find references and stuff and say, hey, I want the windows to look like this. I want there to be statues that look somewhat like this in front. I want this and that. Just those are things that I would want to know as the artist, because right now, like reading through, like even this necklace that you're talking about, it's important. So I would go out of my way to find references for what I would want that to look like. Just stuff like that. I know that's a lot. It's a lot of like thought to be put into it. And maybe you find an artist too that you just trust entirely with the process, and you just say, hey, like, I'm going to give you general ideas and I want you to run with it. That's okay too if you're not into doing all that kind of stuff. But, typically I feel like when you're writing stuff, you have an idea of what you want people to look like, but you're not 100% sure yourself how to make them look exactly like that because you're not an artist. That's what I found myself doing as a younger artist. Like, I was like, oh man, by younger I mean I wasn't very experienced. It's like, damn, like, how do I want this character to look? I have this idea in my head, but every time I try to draw it, it's just not quite right. It's because I didn't have the skill set yet, and I also didn't think to do some of the things I just told you, right? Gathering references. Oh, maybe his hair can be like this, and maybe that, and stuff like that. One day I'll share on stream my very first rendition of my main character that y'all will see in probably a couple of months, and then I'll show you. Obviously, you'll be able to see him in my manga when I start creating it, or my web comic when I start creating it. But you'll start to see, like, oh my gosh, like, this dude had no thought in this character at first. Well, I had a lot of thoughts, but they just weren't good ones yet. And then now it's like, hopefully he's going to be a really well-defined character that has a lot of cool, like, knickknacks and stuff that makes it feel like he actually belongs in the world. So, yeah, just food for thought. I gave somebody else similar feedback a while back. I can't remember which person it was, but that's all for, like, your artists and stuff. Just making sure you understand you're either going one direction or the other. Either you're giving them full, like, creative, what's the word I'm looking for? You're giving them, like, the full, like, creative gambit, like, they can do kind of whatever they want and draw the characters and the scenes and stuff. Sorry, let me finish. I want to read what you had, but I gotta finish my thought. But either you're gonna give them that full creative, like, ability right there, or you're gonna want to put together stuff for the your art team or artist to see. I feel like it's literally pulling out everything from your imagination, every detail for the scene, which definitely for me makes it more immersive when writing. Yeah. So and for manga, I mean, you can do this one of two ways. Like, I could see you doing, like, a light novel, which obviously you don't have to draw as much, or you can just straight up do a manga, which is what you want to do. The beautiful part about manga that's different than just regular story writing is that you get to illustrate everything, and, like, some of these things that you might want to describe via or, like, explain with words, you can just show if you have enough detail and thought into it. Like, for instance, like, a good way to put this is, like, maybe this first character that, had his, hand running through his hair and stuff like that, had blood on his hands. Gote 13 in Bleach, like, they all have the exact same outfit, except for they all kind of make it their own in a different way. Like, Kenpachi's is kind of like, it's shredded looking, but he has that, like, flowery, like, kimono, and he's kind of theatrical in his like way of doing things, which matches with his bankai and his shikai and stuff like that so beautifully. Just stuff like that. So the thing is, I have the character details and tons of... Yeah, I see that. I'm sorry, everybody. I don't know why that's happening. Because I see buffering. Yeah, it is. No! Alright, well, as long as it's okay now. I did get a new, wonder why it's doing that. Is it better now? I'm not showing any buffering. Alright, I'll respond really fast. And then I'll end the stream since it's being stupid on YouTube. Tell really fast, what do you guys think about rambling your thoughts onto a page and then going back and cleaning it up as a way to develop characters, scenes, and stories? So this is what we call pantsing. I think it's a great idea because it allows for you to be as creative as you want to be during those moments. I personally, what I do is I pants with a bit of a structure. So I will kind of come up with like beginning, middle, and end of whatever I'm trying to write in some form or fashion, and then I just kind of write and see where I go, including like scenes and characters and stuff like that. So yeah, I like that idea. I think wherever you can be the most creative version of yourself is, I think, where you want to go. And then Quan said, oh yeah, I was reading this one. You have details and tons of references for places, character designs, etc. But I just freestyle when I wrote the chapters and I didn't look at him. That's fine. You know, it's kind of what Tell was just saying. So if you're going to do it that way, so now you just go back and you find references and stuff that you can give to the art team once that time comes, and you're good to go. Oh no, Mike, why would you do that? Go back and finish that thing, man. I'll be honest with you, use this if you want. This is something you would have to pay for, but I highly recommend it. World Anvil. If you've never heard about it, it's awesome. I love it. It's a great organizational tool. It has prompts and stuff. So I would definitely recommend that. That's what I use. But who is it? Araki, the creator of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, has a book. It's like, I have it. It's just on my iPad, but it's called like something like How to Create a Manga or something like that. And I actually have a video on it, but that book within it, it has like this guide on like writing characters, and it also talks about his method. Like he likes to fully develop his characters and then develop somewhat of a story and then plop those characters into that story. And then they kind of write the story for you if you make your characters well enough where they can like stand on their own 2 feet. Because then you're just putting people in situations and seeing how they react. Mike said, yeah, I was 40K in on that and 27K on another, but I had more free time back then. Yeah, man, that happens sometimes. Like I had Steam. I mean, I know I've talked about this before. I do want to go back to Steam at some point, but I created Steam though as and this is a really bad attitude to have at first, but I created Steam as a way for me to practice before I got to Forsaken Soul, which will be the manga that I'm going to do in a couple of months or start. But I really did like the story. I thought it was fun. The main character in it is the father of the character that's going to be the main character for my other one. I don't have anything out currently. I did 2 one-shots. I wouldn't say either one of them are particularly good. I think the one I'm getting ready to put out is probably going to be much better. But I'll put that out as soon as I can. It'll probably take me another month to actually, maybe 2, to actually finish it and put it out. But it'll be out pretty soon. But yeah, and I stopped doing Steam because I got discouraged with my art and didn't feel like I was good enough to keep going, and the story wasn't good enough, and I got discouraged. So yeah, that's just to say, like, don't give up on that kind of stuff. I wish I would have kept going, because if I would have kept going, I would have been a much better artist much quicker than I am, because I was completing a lot of stuff within like a few weeks time, or a couple of weeks time, and I've gone, you know, I've done 2 one-shots in 3 years, and totaling about 40 pages, 42 pages actually, I think. Whereas when I was doing Steam, I was consistently putting out content weekly, and I don't know how many pages I had at that point in time, but I'm sure it was quite a few, probably like 20 or so at the very least. So that's another reason why I'm so excited to start up with my my new manga. All right. You actually wanted to pivot to drawing because of the writing. It's interesting. I was talking about this before stream. Coop not before stream, but during the stream. Coop asked the question, or I asked Coop the question about like what video he'd like to see me do next, like actual video content and not like a stream. I started talking about, and Tell probably knows about this too, because it's something that's in the art school program, and it's just like, damn, that's such a good idea. So before I actually started doing art, I tried doing like 3D art, like 3D modeling. I learned how to use Blender and stuff. This was like getting close to almost 10 years ago. And so like I was learning how to use Blender, and I got to this point where I was like, because I've always wanted to be part of like creating a video game. I've just been fascinated by it, and I ended up like noticing, like, as I was trying to do all this stuff, I was like, dude, like, I can't make good looking characters because I don't know how to draw. So then I started to draw, and then as I started to draw, like, this is a very roundabout way of getting to this story, but as I started to draw, that's when I wanted to go into manga. But the thing is that I had all of those skills in Blender, and then I stopped using Blender for like 6-7 years. And now I got into this point where I can see that there's so much value in Blender for environments in particular. Like, you can, like, what I'm gonna end up doing the next like week or two for my one shot, and then also for my longer story that I'll be doing, Forsaken Soul, is I'm gonna create all the cities and stuff on Blender so that I don't have to continuously redraw everything. I could just go and like put up the reference or make a screenshot of the 3D model that I've created with all my cities and stuff. And then now I have like just environments sitting there for me, waiting for me to just use. And I was just like, it's just so funny to see Mark Brunet using it that way, and I was like, why the heck did why didn't I think of it that way? Goofy. But yeah, I'm gonna try to make a video on that at some point. Would be cool to go back to it and see the before and after of the old and new version. I bet that would be really motivating. It definitely, like, looking back here, I can, looking back at my art from when I first started, like, drawing and what I currently can do, and I'm not great by any means, but it's definitely, I've gotten much better. It's just like, it's crazy, man. It's just like night and day. Sorry, give me 1 second. I want to see if I can find, let me find Steam really fast so I can, like, show you this. Oops. And I wasn't horrible back then, but I definitely wasn't great. So this is like, this is my first. This is so funny to look at. Oh boy. So here is Steam. Where's my print screen on here? Here it is. This is so funny to look at. This is like one of my first, like, character panels on Steam. Again, it's not, is it horrible? No, it's not horrible, but it's just funny to look at. Yeah, a lot of pro splash art artists that work at Riot and Blizzard work entire scenes in 3D before overpainting. Really cool stuff, but I know almost nothing about 3D. Anime Kwan, yes I do. I have, I think, 2 videos on Kisho Tenketsu. Yep. Those are the things that Mark worked on that I know of. Mike said, writing is easy, drawing is hard. I think trying to do both and finding time for both, if you're a manga creator that does both, is very difficult. Because it's like, the more you write, the more you want to draw what you're writing, but the more that you draw, the more you want to change what you've written. So it's like, it ends up being really interesting. And this is, yep, it is. Yeah, this is wild for me to look at, though. Like, some of this stuff isn't too bad in this particular drawing. I spent a lot of time on this one too. I remember, like, I think I spent like hours trying to plan for this particular panel because it was like important. But yeah, it's just things like perspective. Like, I didn't understand how to, like, I wanted the camera to be low in this particular panel, but it ends up looking really flat because, like, I didn't really commit to anything. So these characters, here, let me do it this way. We can just look at it like this. Give me 1 second. can look at this together. So it's not a horrible scene. Not great, but not horrible. So yeah, like, these characters are basically, steam is this like resource that's on Mars. Mars at this point is like a dried up planet. Like, there's not really too many resources on it, but this particular form of rock is like, if you basically put it in, it's almost like a fossil fuel in some ways, but it's clean energy. And the only thing that it produces when you burn it is steam. And it's, as you can see, it's enough to power a city for a week. So it's like super duper potent. And yep, it's the only thing keeping them from collapse. So they're excited that they got some, and these two dudes are like pirates basically. They're coming and stealing, and there's these people called slingers that watch over like the steam reserves. And as you can see, this guy's getting greedy and he wants to get more. And then I really liked this panel. Like, I thought that this was good. I was really excited about it. Like, I did some research on what it might look like for wood to be shattered. There's actually some pretty good perspective in here, so this is not a bad panel. But yeah, so like, Moses Fox, who is the main character of this series, is the dad of Miku Fox, who's the main character of my other series. He comes, he's one of the slingers. He's like the best slinger around. And yeah, they run and he chases them down, and just such flat panels. I mean, it's not, these aren't horrible, but it's just flat stuff. But anyways, yeah. Still a nice picture, but you can see the improvement between then and now for sure. I bet your action poses are much better these days from all the gesture drawing. Oh yeah, like, it's funny. Like, again, it's not none of it's bad. It's no different than a lot of what is put out there on like Webtoon anyways, or like any of those apps. It's just not great. And I knew that, like, as I was drawing, and it was bothering me, which is why I stopped. I decided just to study. But yeah, Mike, they're bad guys. They're pirating stuff, and Moses is the good guy, and he comes in and he saves the day in this particular, in that chapter I just showed you. And oh, y'all don't need to see that. Give me 1 second, I can put it back on here for you, and then go here. But yeah, that was, there is a government, but the government is like, the slingers are kind of like the hired government for just watching over the steam, because it's the only resource that really matters on Mars. Because everything else, like, basically in my world, even now, like, what's happened is like, humans have kind of sucked up all the resources available on Earth, so they're traveling, but it's like it's 1,000 years into the future, so they're able now to colonize different planets, and they've done so in the Milky Way. So the first planet was Mars, and then they sucked up all the resources on Mars as well pretty quickly, and they keep traveling out. And if you're not well off enough, you're not able... Yes, Quan. But if you're not well off enough, you're not able to travel with colonies to the next planet and live. So, Miku's family is one of those families that is kind of trapped in some of the earlier planetary developments, and His dad is a slinger on Mars, and it's the only thing that kind of really keeps Mars afloat. So their government is all centered around making sure that this resource is okay. So they have these hired guns that that are government officials in some way, in some capacity, and their main job is to make sure that pirates don't come and steal this resource. So yeah, that's pretty much what the story is about. It's really it ends up being a vessel for my main character in the current story that I'm writing, or have written a good portion of. So yeah, it ends up being a vessel for him to kind of show like he has magic and stuff like that. He's a little different, and then we move forward from there. So anyways, that'll be it for tonight. I need to get some coconut water and relax a little bit before I work my tail off tomorrow as well. But I appreciate hanging out with all of y'all, and yes, Tal, that is exactly what has happened to me. That's why it's so hard for me to consistently want to work. But I need to like push through the fact that yes, it's my stuff is gonna suck. Like like in a year from now, I'll look back on my stuff that I'm thinking right now is gonna look great, and I'll be like, man, this really sucks. But I need to push through that and keep going on my manga, because I'm not gonna get better at creating comics until I create comics. So, great stream, Mike. Have a great night. Take care, everyone. You take care too, Mike. But yeah, I'll hit y'all up for a stream here pretty soon. I might do one more on like Thursday or Friday. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I do hope that y'all have a great night. It was great talking to all of you, and it was great to look Steam back up and kind of review that. That was fun. I'll maybe do a video on that at some point, looking at my first ever manga, maybe after I've done a few episodes of my next one. But stream and Steam, yes. See y'all later. I love all of you, appreciate you, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace out.